Hey guys, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business. Guys, here we are. We are just about ready to get started. We are about 50 hours away from kickoff for the Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles, but not that I care about either of those teams. I still will be watching. Of course I'll be watching because it's football. But guys, one of the things we have to worry about is our offensive line. There's a lot of doom and gloom that's going around about our Cowboys right now. People are saying, "Oh, that Great Wall of Dallas, it's not the same. It's got Tyron Smith is still coming back from injury last year. You've got Zach Martin who hurt his leg, and then you've got Travis Frederick who is not, practicing with the team." But I'm going to say this much about Travis Frederick, that what is giving me hope is the fact that he traveled to Houston for the preseason game. The fact that he's working out on the side and is able to do that stuff. The fact that the Cowboys didn't put him on injured reserve tells me that he's responding real well to the treatment. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't have access to his records or anything else. This is just my opinion on the situation. And it gives me some hope that maybe, just maybe, it won't be too long before he gets there. But listening to NFL Network or looking at some of the polls, where one of the polls has the Cowboys at 25th, although I think that's mainly for clicks, because basically you say the Cowboys are 25th worst team in the NFL, people are going to be checking it out and seeing what you're saying. It's a great move, to be quite honest. It's a great way to get attention. But it doesn't give you much credibility. They keep talking about our wide receivers. They've got nobody. They've got bums. But I got to tell you, they said the same thing last year about our defensive pass rush. And in the end, we did all right. We did better than all right with our pass rush. So don't fall into the hype. Everything that they're saying, it's guesstimates. Because guys are nobodies until they make themselves somebody. DeMarcus Lawrence, now everybody's watching film and tape on him. Were they watching film and tape of him last year? No. So just relax and take it easy. But the thing I'm sitting here wondering, I always like to try and put things together here and come up with a conclusion. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. But I got to tell you, when it comes to Rico Gathers, all we heard last year was Rico is a project and his football IQ is not there and he can't block. That's what we heard. We heard that going into training camp this year. Rico is just not there. He's fourth string. Probably won't make the team. Okay. But when you look at what he was doing in preseason, his blocking was definitely better than Chaz Green. So that didn't seem quite the issue as much as we were led on to be. And I'm not there every day practice, so I don't know what goes on in practice. All I know is, as far as receptions, I believe he led the team in receptions in the preseason. Don't quote me on that, but I think he actually did. Definitely led the tight ends. And we're keeping 4 tight ends not because they think they're all great. I think they're keeping 4 because they're not sure who's going to be the guy or guys, because we do 2 tight end sets. But I must say that the opinion on Rico Gathers has definitely changed from where it was. Because for him to be busted for weed the night before cuts, that gave you the easy out with the fans. Because let's face it, people like Rico. People love talking about Rico. People love the ability and the potential of Rico. And sometimes, in order to save face, you have to destroy a reputation so that way you don't look so bad. And that's what happened with Dez Bryant and the Cowboys, because Dez Bryant putting up the X, being a fan favorite, being the Dallas Cowboys all-time leading touchdown reception getter, you can't just cut him and say bye. That's why you saw him on All or Nothing the way it was portrayed. That's why you hear Stephen Jones and everything else. They put doubt in your mind about the player, so when they do cut him, it's like, oh yeah, well, he was a problem in the locker room. The coaches couldn't get to him. He could only run a couple of routes. So then it's like, oh, okay. But if he's a fan favorite and everything is hunky-dory, then you guys just look like an ass. So it seemed like that was a lot of the narrative with Rico Gathers. They were setting it up so that way they could release him and then look, hey, it's not us, it's Rico. He doesn't have the ability. But I think Rico showed enough, maybe way more than enough, to say, I warrant being out on that field. I am better than what you're saying I am. And if you let me go, I'm going to find someplace else to do it, and then you're going to look like you don't know what you're doing. So he kind of forced the Cowboys' hand to change the narrative on him. Now, it'll be interesting to see if he does make the game day roster. You have 53 guys on the active roster, but you can only dress 43. And I want to see if the Cowboys dress him. To me, he's an incredible weapon if you can figure out how to use him. He's got ability to get downfield, and he's got ability to reach for the sky. We'll see what the Cowboys have in store with him, whether or not he's going to be on the active roster or not. I'm hoping and betting that he is. But let's wait and see, guys. But later on today, we'll have some more on the Dallas Cowboys versus the Carolina Panthers. And I got to be honest, the more you look at these two teams, the more they look like a mirror image of each other. But as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. I'll see you guys soon.